Today we're taking a look at these NCAAF matches, which are happening on Friday, November 19, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice. Southern Miss vs Louisiana Tech. Last week the Eagles failed to pick up their second win of the year, falling to UTSA by a score of 27-17. In the game, Southern Miss picked up just 10 first downs. A lot of this had to do with a passing game that totaled just 52 yards. The team also lost the turnover battle 3-2. Frank Gore Jr. was the only bright spot, rushing for 123 yards and a touchdown. Our first betting advice is to pick Louisiana Tech minus 16.5. Tech ran for 180 yards in the win, which is shocking as they are 107th in the nation in rushing. Marcus Williams had a huge game with 131 yards and 4 TDs, and he will face a Southern Miss defense that has struggled against the run. The Bulldogs are 26th in passing and 64th in scoring at 28.6 ppg. The biggest issue for the Bulldogs this year has been their defense, which is 124th against the pass, 81st against the run, and 112th in points allowed at 33.8 ppg. Charlotte threw for 448 yards against them, but the Bulldogs will be facing a Southern Miss team that is 123rd in passing and 130th in total offense overall. The defense has a chance to look good in this one. Our second betting advice is to pick under 49. Memphis vs Houston. Memphis is averaging 31.7 points per game. They are averaging 303.3 passing yards and 148.3 rushing yards per game. Seth Hennigan has completed 61.1% of his passes for 2,778 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. Brandon Thomas leads the team with 669 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns, while Calvin Austin III leads the team with 1,026 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns. Memphis has struggled defensively, giving up 29.2 points per game. They gave up 30 points in their last game and will need to play better if they want to win this game. Our second betting advice is to pick Houston minus 8.5. Houston hasn't been quite as good against the spread with a record of 6-4, although it has covered in 2 of its last 3 games, including a dramatic win over SMU as a slight favorite. Overs are also 6-4 for the Cougars after last weekend's game went under the betting total to snap a run of 5 overs in the prior 6 contests. The Cougars' offense has been prolific, ranking 10th in scoring 38.9 yards per game, while racking up an average of 412.7 yards per contest. A huge difference from previous seasons has been the much improved Houston defense, which is allowing just 20.8 points and 292.4 yards per contest, the latter of which is a top 10 mark nationally. Our second betting advice is to pick over. Arizona vs Washington State. The Arizona Wildcats need to improve on the defensive side of the field this season, as they are giving up 29.5 points per game. In their previous game against the Utah Utes, they allowed 38 points on 468 total yards of offense, 294 passing, 174 rushing. The Utes went 6 of 12 on third down attempts and converted their only fourth down try. The Wildcats need to step up against the run, as Utah ran for 4 rushing yards per attempt. If they can force a couple of field goals, it will be a huge plus for the program. Our first betting advice is to pick Washington State, minus 14.5. The Cougars have taken a slight step back since the Mike Leach change, and what was once one of the nation's most prolific offenses now is ranked 86th in scoring offense. The passing attack is 38th nationally in terms of yards per game and is going up against a top 20 passing defense. One area for success is in the running game, which will pay dividends if Washington State is able to stick with that game plan. Jaden DeLaura remains the leader at quarterback and has been solid so far this fall. He's averaging 249 yards per game through the air and has 19 touchdowns compared to 9 interceptions. Adding in the combination of Max Borghi and Dean McIntosh, combining for over 100 yards per game on the ground, and the Cougars have the experience to make the run priority on Friday. Arizona struggles to stop the run, and if Borghi can control the clock and move slowly, Washington State will have a great chance to keep Arizona's offense at bay. Our second betting advice is to pick over 52.5. Quick reminder, BetUS is a platform that offers betting on all major sport and horse racing leagues. It has slots, table games, blackjack, and a variety of other casino games. All of the major US leagues are available for betting, including the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, and PGA. In addition, BetUS allows wagers on esports, Olympic events, soccer, cricket, boxing, cycling, and many more competitions. Join BetUS now using our link down below and get 125% cashback bonus on your first deposit on the sportsbook after you open an account and deposit using our link and use our promo code HIGHSTAKES. Air Force vs Nevada. Quarterback Hosek Daniels was able to get in on the fun as well. Daniels threw for 121 yards, including a pair of touchdown passes. One of his touchdown passes, a 92-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Brandon Lewis, set a school record for longest touchdown pass thrown. His second touchdown gave the Falcons a 2-score lead, one they held on to for the remainder of the game. Defensively, Air Force held CSU scoreless in the fourth. The defensive standout for the Falcons was defensive back Cami Goff, who had a career-high 10 tackles for the Falcons. Air Force was also able to cause a few turnovers in the game, picking off Ram quarterback Todd Centio twice, with DBs Trey Buggs-Ree and Trey Taylor doing the honors. CSU was held to 173 yards passing for the game. Our first betting advice is to pick Air Force Falcons +2. The Nevada defense is playing well, allowing 24 or fewer points in 3 consecutive games. The pass defense is a weakness, standing 93rd overall, however the rush defense is respectable, placing 54th overall. The Wolfpack are averaging 34.9 points, good for 24th in the FBS. They are allowing an average of 24.2 points, landing them 55th overall. Our second betting advice is to pick under. San Diego State vs UNLV. The Aztecs have dominated this season of the defensive side of the ball. They allow on average 17.1 points and 305.9 yards per game. They have only allowed opponents to score 21 points or more 3 times, and of those 3 games, only one team scored more than 21 points. Their offense has struggled this season. They average 27.8 points and 329.7 yards per game. They will need their offense to step up a little if they want to beat Boise State and get a bid to the championship game, but their defense could carry them through this matchup. Our first betting advice is to pick San Diego State Aztecs at -10.5. UNLV is averaging 21.5 points per game, 113th in the country, and they are 119th in yards per game at 313.9. Williams has now rushed for 1,054 yards and has a 5.2 yards per carry average. The running back has scored 13 touchdowns as well. Cameron Friel has completed 63.4% of his passes for 1,541 yards and 6 touchdowns. He has also thrown 10 interceptions. The leading receiver is Kyle Williams with 40 catches for 594 yards and 2 touchdowns. Steve Jenkins is second with 39 catches for 507 yards and 4 TDs. The Rebels are allowing 31.8 points per game, 105th in the nation. The defense has 17 sacks, 8 interceptions, and 5 fumble recoveries. Brennan Scott leads the team with 4 sacks. Jacoby Windmon is a team leader with 90 tackles and has 3 sacks and 2 forced fumbles. Our second betting advice is to pick over 41.5.